Do you believe that simply stuffing sweet potato into bitter melon can transform it into a completely different dish? It may sound surprising, but the natural sweetness and creamy texture of sweet potato perfectly balance the gentle bitterness of bitter melon. The result is a beautiful dish that's crisp, tender, naturally sweet, refreshing, and packed with nutrients. If you've never tried this unique combination before, it just might become the most delicious way you've ever enjoyed bitter melon. Let's get started. First, let's thoroughly wash the bitter melon. The surface of bitter melon is covered with many deep ridges and grooves, where dirt, dust, and other impurities can easily become trapped. If you simply rinse it under running water, some of these particles may still remain hidden inside the grooves. So, while rinsing it under running water, gently scrub the entire surface with a soft brush. It only takes about a minute, but it cleans the bitter melon much more thoroughly without damaging its beautiful green skin. Once it's clean, let the bitter melon drain and place it on a cutting board. Using a knife, trim off both the stem and blossom ends. Then cut the bitter melon in half crosswise. Next, use the handle of a spoon to gently scrape out all of the seeds and the soft inner pith. Work slowly and carefully so you don't tear the walls of the bitter melon. Keeping the shell intact makes stuffing much easier and helps the finished slices stay perfectly round and attractive. Bitter melon is an excellent source of dietary fiber, vitamin C, folate, and many beneficial antioxidants, making it a wonderful vegetable to include as part of a balanced diet. After removing the seeds and pith, you'll notice a thin white membrane attached to the inside of the flesh. This is where most of bitter melon's characteristic bitterness comes from. If you enjoy its natural bitter flavor, simply leave this membrane intact. On the other hand, if you prefer a milder, more approachable flavor, gently scrape away the thin white membrane with a spoon. There's no need to scrape deeply. Removing just this thin layer significantly reduces the bitterness while preserving the crisp texture and delicious flesh of the bitter melon. Repeat the same process with the remaining pieces. When you're finished, you'll have clean, evenly prepared bitter melon tubes that are ready to be filled in the next step. Next, prepare a handful of dried goji berries. Pour in enough water to completely cover them. Gently stir them with your hand to remove any dust or fine grit clinging to the surface. Even a small handful of goji berries adds a beautiful finishing touch to the dish. Then, replace the water with fresh water and rinse them one more time. Washing them twice helps clean the goji berries thoroughly while keeping their delicate skins intact. Drain well and set them aside. Next, pour water into a steamer pot. Cover it with a lid and bring it to a boil over high heat. Meanwhile, wash the sweet potatoes. Add 1 teaspoon of baking soda, then pour in enough water to completely cover the sweet potatoes. Stir until the baking soda has dissolved. The baking soda helps loosen dirt and debris stuck to the skin, making the sweet potatoes much easier and more effective to clean. Soak them for about 2 minutes. Once the soaking time is up, use your hands or a soft brush to gently scrub each sweet potato until the surface is completely clean. It's nice to know that we see each other all over the world. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, you can subscribe by clicking the subscribe button. It's great to see your support. Then rinse them thoroughly under running water to remove all traces of the baking soda and any remaining dirt. Next, use a knife to cut off both ends of each sweet potato. The ends are usually drier and contain less flesh, so trimming them off will give you a better looking and better tasting finished result. At this point, the sweet potatoes are ready to cook. By now, the water should be boiling. Place the steamer rack inside the pot and arrange the sweet potatoes on top. Here's a very important tip for steaming sweet potatoes. Only place the sweet potatoes into the steamer after the water has come to a full boil. The hot steam helps them cook more evenly, retain their moisture, and develop a tender texture without becoming waterlogged. Cover the pot tightly and steam over high heat for the first 15 minutes. The strong steam quickly heats the sweet potatoes and helps them cook evenly from the outside in. Then, reduce the heat to medium and continue steaming for about another 15 minutes. This stage allows the sweet potatoes to cook more gently and develop a richer natural sweetness. Finally, reduce the heat to low and steam for about 5 more minutes until the sweet potatoes are completely tender all the way through. Throughout the steaming process, try not to open the lid. Keeping the steam and temperature stable will help the sweet potatoes cook more evenly. If your sweet potatoes are larger or smaller than average, you can increase or decrease the steaming time by 5 to 10 minutes during the medium or low heat stage. Now, open the lid and take a look. The sweet potatoes should fill your kitchen with a wonderful natural aroma. Insert a chopstick into the largest sweet potato. If it slides through easily, they're perfectly cooked. Remove the sweet potatoes from the steamer and let them cool before moving on to the next step. While the sweet potatoes are cooling, prepare a pot of water. Bring it to a rolling boil over high heat. Once the water is boiling, add 1 teaspoon of salt. Then, gently place the bitter melon into the boiling water. Blanching the bitter melon for about 3 minutes helps brighten its green color, mellow its bitterness, and preserve its natural crispness. While blanching, turn it occasionally so it heats evenly on all sides. Be careful not to blanch it for too long. About 3 minutes is enough. Overcooking will cause the bitter melon to lose its crisp texture and vibrant color. As soon as the time is up, transfer the bitter melon immediately into a bowl of cold water. This quick ice bath is an important step. It instantly stops the cooking process, helping the bitter melon stay bright green, crisp, and refreshing. Leave it in the cold water for about 2 to 3 minutes. Then remove it and stand each piece upright to let any water trapped inside drain away. The drier the bitter melon is, the easier it will be to stuff, and the cleaner the slices will look later. By now, the sweet potatoes should have cooled enough to handle. Peel off the skin. Properly steamed sweet potatoes should be soft, naturally sweet, and dry enough to hold their shape, making them perfect for stuffing. Where are you watching from? Please leave a comment to let me know. Next, gently slide each sweet potato into the hollow center of the bitter melon. Try to fill the cavity as completely as possible. This will create beautiful, even slices once the bitter melon is cut. If any sweet potato extends beyond the bitter melon, simply trim off the excess. Once everything is stuffed, place the bitter melon on a cutting board. Using a sharp knife, slice it into rounds about 1/2 centimeter, 1/4 inch, thick. Each slice reveals a beautiful golden center surrounded by vibrant green bitter melon, creating a striking natural contrast. Arrange the slices on a serving plate in any pattern you like. Then, place 1 goji berry in the center of each slice for a simple yet elegant finishing touch. It adds a beautiful pop of color and a subtle hint of natural sweetness. If you're not used to the bitterness of bitter melon, drizzle a little honey or pure maple syrup over the top. Just a small amount is enough to balance the bitterness while still allowing the unique flavor of the bitter melon to shine through. If you enjoy its natural taste, feel free to skip this step. And just like that, your bitter melon stuffed with sweet potato is ready to serve. The vibrant green bitter melon paired with the naturally golden sweet potato creates a dish that's both elegant and eye-catching. From the very first bite, you'll notice the gentle crispness of the bitter melon, followed by the soft, creamy sweetness of the sweet potato. These two ingredients may seem like an unlikely pairing, but together, they create a surprisingly harmonious balance of flavors. A light drizzle of honey or maple syrup makes the dish even more approachable, especially for those trying bitter melon for the first time. Besides being delicious, this dish is also rich in fiber, vitamins, and antioxidants from both the bitter melon and the sweet potato, making it as nourishing as it is satisfying. It's a simple recipe, yet it offers a completely new way to enjoy bitter melon. If you've never been a fan of bitter melon before, this recipe just might change your mind. Give it a try, and you may be surprised by how beautifully The fresh, gentle bitterness of the bitter melon complements the naturally sweet, creamy sweet potato. The video ends here. If you have any comments, please leave a comment below. If you find the video interesting, please give me a like. Don't forget to share it with your relatives and friends. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Thank you for your support. Goodbye. See you in the next video.